everyone, so it is time for a new reading vlog, and today I'm doing another vlog for the Magical Readathon, and this is going to be my version of the all-nighter. So I did mention in my first Magical Readathon vlog, I'm going to link that down below in case you missed it, that I will not be able to participate in the official all-nighter that's happening this Saturday because I'm going to be working, my family's also going to be visiting me, and I will not be able to read for like, you know, a single second, basically. And so I decided, while I'm a little bit sad, you know, that I'll miss the event and I won't be able to like watch G's sprints, you know, in that time and any of that, I still wanted to do my version. So I wanted to do this today and tomorrow, you know, and read a lot of books. Let's talk about my TBR and like what prompts I still need to do and all that stuff. So I will be sleeping. I will not be pulling an all-nighter. It is 6:39 p.m. right now, and what I usually do and what I think I will do is I will just like read, you know, tonight obviously, and then just read until tomorrow night until I go to bed or something. Cause like it's still definitely not even the full 24 hours if I'm gonna be sleeping for, let's say, 8 hours or whatever. Let's talk about the books. I have the careers and the prompts screenshotted on my phone, and we're going to talk about what we still need to do. I don't think I'm going to, you know, go through all of that right now, but just like a little bit to see. Okay, let's start with the physical books. So I just realized that I started saying in that vlog that I bought a book today, and then I didn't end up showing the books. So you're going to see it here. And so the book that I bought today is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. And oh my god, I went to the bookstore just to, you know, read in the cafe, and I knew I couldn't really buy anything. I can't really afford to buy books right now. And so just like, you know, but then I saw this book. It was the last copy. It just came out. I'm like dying to read it, and it also works for the prompt of the light source on the cover because it literally has the sun right there. Technically, I did already complete that prompt, but like I said in the other vlog, I like to break the rules, and I just want to read all the books that I want to read, you know, and so I just mainly want to read the books that I feel like fit the vibe of the readathon, or just books that I'm in the mood for, and then match them with the prompts as opposed to doing it the other way around. And so I did also choose to have like 2 different characters with 2 different careers, and so some of my prompts are like doubled. I actually just realized I also didn't fully introduce the readathon now. So I mean, if you saw that video, you already know, or you might know even, you know, without me talking about it, but let's just quickly, you know, mention that this is a readathon hosted by G from the Book Roast. It's been happening for quite a few years now. It's one of my favorite readathons, and it always happens in April and in August. So of course G's channel is once again going to be linked down below. And yeah, so for this readathon, you create a character and you choose a career for them, and they have like classes that they need to do, and those classes correspond to different reading prompts, and that's where we're at. So yeah, so I have 2, and I'll go over the prompts as we go. I don't want to, you know, have this intro to be 10,000 years long. This is a strong contender. It's not a book that I want to rush, and so I'm not sure if like I'm gonna read it in here completely, because like it might be nice to just like, I don't know, read it next week. But also like when I again saw it at the bookstore, I was just like, it hurt me to leave it there, and I just had to get it. And so I like really want to read it, of course, so I don't know. Then I have a prompt that is a circle on the cover, but I don't have the book next to me, so we'll get into that later. I have a prompt that is like a generator that tells me the amount of letters that the book needs to have, and I got 10, and I want to read The Plus One by Maisie Eddings for that. I am super excited for this. This is actually the last book that I haven't read by Maisie Eddings, and I've absolutely adored all of them, so very excited for that. And it is like 300 pages, and so I think I could read the whole book in a day, you know, but not sure, because again, I do want to prioritize more of like fantasy books and books that are not just adult contemporary romance, because while that is my main thing, I really want to expand the genres that I read again, because I used to read a lot more different genres, and I have not been doing that recently. So I did finish a fantasy book in the first vlog, and so I have high hopes that I'm gonna do that in this one as well. So I have 2 options for that, and the first one is Far Wilder Magic by Alison Saft. So I also already mentioned this one there. And okay, I thought it was 400 pages long, but it's like a little bit under that. So I don't feel like I could, I don't know, in my head I'm like, I can't finish that in one day because I have been in a fantasy slump for a long time, but at the same time, I have such a strong feeling that I'm gonna absolutely love this. And I actually read like 40 pages of it and I already loved the beginning, you know? So it has so much potential, but I just need to get over myself. So I actually also though, don't really know what prompt I could do this for. There is a prompt that I need to still do, like the second one, that is a book that could cure slumps. And I do actually think that this could cure my fantasy slump and make me more motivated to read more. Because again, like this is a 5-star prediction. And while I do feel like I'm not gonna finish it in one day, I don't have to finish it, you know, in this vlog, like in the next 24 hours. And the other one is a little bit different, and it is The Midnight Lie by Mary Rudkowski. And this is actually a book that I already read, but it's been years, and I just brought it here with me from like my parents' house like 2 weeks ago, and it's just been calling my name, and it's actually a little bit out of character for me because like this is not normally a fantasy book that I would expect to love, because it's like a little bit darker and, you know, more dangerous than I would like to go for. I like the like super magical, fun, entertaining, found family type of fantasy books or romance ones, you know? But I still like really enjoyed this, and it has a really specific writing style that also like just felt really accessible and like fast moving. And I think that this would be really great to read again. And it is a duology, and I don't have the second book yet, but I would love to buy it soon and finally read it. And so I think this is a strong contender. And I don't know, again, what prompt this could be for. Last thing, actually, is the book that we're probably gonna start with, that I started in the other vlog. And so that is Always As in Forever by J.C. Cervantes. And this is actually a book that I'm not sure, once again, what the prompt is that I'm reading it for. But it just went with a vibe of me kind of stepping out of my comfort zone a little bit. And it is like a YA contemporary with like a fantasy element to it. I never know what people call it because it feels like urban fantasy or like paranormal fantasy is not the right word, because that usually has more fantasy in it. And I've heard people say contemporary fantasy, but also not that many times, so I don't know if that's, you know, and I think there's also like fabulism, but I don't know if that is also another thing. But anyway, it doesn't matter what it's called. We have Hart and Ruby, who have been soulmates ever since they were little, and they love each other, and they have such a special bond and relationship. And Hart passes away, and his soul is then like transported into the body of like a local bad boy. And there's an element of like an angel doing that with him and like saving his life, or like the life of his soul. And she, you know, tells him how he cannot go back to his old life. He cannot go back to Ruby. He can't tell her what happened. He physically can't tell her, like his mouth can't form the words. And he will also slowly start losing his memories as like Hart, and fully like merge with this new body. And so there's then like gonna be like a new romance with Ruby within this like new body. And Ruby also hates the dude that he is in the body of. And so, you know, very interesting. And I already feel so invested in it. I said it in that other vlog, like the first, like just since the beginning, I felt so invested in them as characters and in the bond. And it's just so, I don't want to say fun, because like it's obviously like sad, but also it's just fun as well, you know, like it's a little bit of both. And I'm so curious to see how it goes. And obviously it has kind of higher stakes than like normal contemporary books usually have, or like YA contemporary ones, you know, like not every time. Obviously there's ones with high stakes, but more than I normally read. And I actually love that. It just really is just gripping my attention, and I absolutely want to keep reading. So I do think there's a high chance I'm just gonna be flying through that whole thing. And then I do really want to find an audiobook to listen to, and I would love for that to be a fantasy book, probably, or something in that direction, but I need to think about that. I don't know exactly. And yeah, so I have been talking for so long, so I'm gonna shut up and I'll talk to you very soon when I kind of figure out what I'm reading, and you know, I'll give you some updates. So I feel like I look a little bit rough. I have been just in bed reading, but I kind of ended up not reading for like most of the evening. Soon after I talked to you, I called my mom, and then after that, I was texting with one of my best friends for also maybe like 2 hours, and it was wonderful, and I have no regrets. But it does mean I am not like very far with reading, but I still have things that I want to talk to you about, and we're just gonna go hard tomorrow. But even if we don't, I really just need to get more comfortable with not always reading 1,000 things and finishing everything in every vlog. Like the 24-hour readathon concept can't possibly be, you know, the video where I read and finish the most amount of things. Like, it's just one day after all, you know? I need to chill out. So, where's my phone? The main thing is that I got to the halfway point of Always Isn't Forever by J.C. Cervantes, and I'm loving this so much, and I am so happy. And I don't know, I feel really inspired. Again, like that conversation with one of my best friends brought me so much joy, and it was just like absolutely incredible. It actually motivated me so much to write. And so I think I'm gonna do that within the next 24 hours as well. But I also just like feel like I'm getting to a point with reading that is like really like re-sparking my passion. Not that I ever stopped being passionate about reading, but again, like I'm getting excited to experiment and get out of my comfort zone, and again expand the genres and everything. And it's not like this book, you know, it's funny because like this book is kind of within like the contemporary realm, you know, like close-ish to the things that I read, but already getting a little bit further from it. And so then I'm like, you know, it's a good way to like keep it going further and further until I get into like the high fantasy books and whatever. And so I'm very excited about that. And I'm just also loving this book so much. It is just so, like, it's so meaningful, and it's making me realize that I really don't read a lot of books with high stakes nowadays. I read maybe some like angsty books and emotional books, but not books with high stakes that are kind of more like unpredictable, where you maybe know that it's gonna have a happy ending, or there's like a high chance it's not gonna have, you know, a bad ending, but you have no idea how they're gonna get there. And that is definitely the case in this book, where I don't know what's gonna happen. And I have heard people say before that, you know, they don't like reading books that are predictable. And whenever I heard that, I was like, that is not me. Like, I could read the same tropes, the same concept over and over again. You know, if it's done well, if it has great characters, and, you know, like all those things, then I can read it. I don't care, you know? But that doesn't mean it's not super fun to experience that. And it just is a different feeling, you know, like reading the book and desperately wanting to know what's gonna happen next. And I can of course understand that, and I feel that with this book. And I'm so invested in the characters. And, you know, in my head I'm like, they're gonna fall in love again, and it's gonna have a happy ending, and it's gonna work out. But then I'm like, how the hell are they gonna get there? And I don't fully know that with certainty anyways. And it's just like, I'm so here for the ride. And I really love the two main characters, and I really love the vibe of this book. I think the genre also is so fun. It doesn't feel, sometimes I feel like when there's a contemporary book with a magical element, it doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel like a good natural inclusion in the story. It feels out of place, or it's like not explained enough, doesn't feel developed enough. You know, it's really hard to pull it off. But in here, it like, it's working so well, and I am having the best time. So I cannot wait to see where the story goes, and I'm so invested. I feel like it's such a great contrast between Hart and the way that he, you know, who he is, and Jameson, which is like the boy whose body he's in, he is, you know, like has a lot of issues and he's not the best person, and exploring how he's like merging with him and how he's becoming a new person, but not really, because, you know, his soul is the same, and it's just like so interesting as well. And I cannot wait to keep reading. So I don't know, because it's literally midnight right now and I do usually go to bed at like 2, but at this point I like to listen to audiobooks. It feels like the least exhausting way of reading. So I don't know if I'll actually do that because I really want to keep reading Always Isn't Forever. I have an option that I think I'm really excited for that, again, I have no idea what prompt we're gonna use it for, but I was looking through Goodreads and I tried to find fantasy books that are on my TBR to try to, you know, find exciting books that I'm excited for. And I ran into The Bone Spindle by Leslie Vedder. And the only thing that makes me nervous about it is that I can't see almost any reviews from people that I trust on there, and I have a thing, okay? If it's a book by a new author, I struggle a lot to like pick it up if someone doesn't recommend it to me. Like, I know rationally, you know, any book can be good even if it has 0 reviews, or, you know, especially reviews from people that I trust. Yeah, I know that, you know, but it's hard to not be worried that it's like, shit, like if people aren't talking about it, what if it's not good? But in my head, I'm like, that's bullshit. You know, I need to get over that. And I really like this cover, and it sounds fun. The little blurb at the top says, Sleeping Beauty meets Indiana Jones in this thrilling fairy tale retelling for fans of Sorcery of Thorns and All the Stars and Teeth. So I do absolutely love Sorcery of Thorns. That is actually one of my favorite YA fantasy books. And I enjoyed All the Stars and Teeth. Didn't like love it. It's been a long time, but it was definitely decent. And so I think this is about like, it has multiple characters and I think like 2 or 3 points of view, and there's supposed to be 2 romances in it as well. And it also says that it's a fast-paced young adult fantasy full of adventure, romance, found family, and snark, which sounds amazing. And I have a theory that books, you know, I mean, it should actually work, like, you know, that books that have characters on the cover should technically be character driven, and things that, you know, books that don't have characters on the cover might just be more like plot driven and stuff like that. So that is how my brain works when it comes to fantasy books. Obviously, books without the characters can still be character driven and all that shit, but I think like when it comes to, you know, it should work that way. I'm pretty sure. And at least my brain works that way, and so when I see characters on the cover, it immediately draws me in. Because first of all, I love that kind of cover style, and second of all, it makes me think, okay, this is gonna be, you know, focused on the characters, and that is all that I care about. So I'm very excited, and I got the audiobook, and it is like a little bit longer than I would like for a 24-hour readathon, but again, I don't have to finish it. We will see, and yeah, so I will go read a little bit more, and I will talk to you in the morning, hopefully with some, you know, more exciting updates. But I actually feel really good, and I'm really happy about that. This video and like my last Magical Readathon vlog really helped, and talking to, you know, some people I love today also really helped. And so I'm really happy because the past few weeks have not been it. It's not been amazing. So I'm very glad and grateful for that. So I will go read, and we'll talk soon. It is time for an update. I am just about to do my makeup, and I really like doing updates where I do my makeup and talk to you, so we're gonna do that. And it's about to be 2 p.m, so, you know, a bit of a late start, but it's okay. So I have been doing some reading. I'm not going like super fast, and, you know, but I am reading good things, and I think that's what we're gonna focus on. And like, the day is young, you know, like it's not over. And like I said, I do really want to write today, but I'm sure we can, you know, figure something out. So I haven't finished anything yet, but I am now at like 70% of Always Isn't Forever, and I Love it so much. It's starting to get really emotional and I am very overwhelmed with feelings, you know, starting to also get like a little bit worried and I'm like, shit, like I really don't know what's gonna happen now and how it's gonna get resolved and I'm a little bit scared, but it's also that like satisfying feeling where, you know, like I do not want to stop reading. I just have to keep turning the pages to figure out what's gonna happen, and so I'm definitely gonna be finishing it after this update, and I'm so happy that I finally picked it up, and I think there's a high chance this is gonna be a 5 stars, so we love to see that. And I think that I've already told you, you know, like a lot of my feelings and thoughts. I am just like so invested. I feel like this genre and the vibe is so good and I love it so much. It feels like such a good balance of like contemporary and magical, and I absolutely love it, and I feel like it's just so meaningful as well, and I love the side characters too, and I feel like it's, again, I think I mentioned, it's so interesting to see Hart merging with Jameson, where it's like it's his soul but his life is still gonna change, of course, because he is living like someone else's life, sort of. And we kind of also learn more about Jameson, who, you know, obviously, again, has this like really bad reputation. A lot of people don't like him, including Ruby, and even Hart, I don't think ever really liked him or knew him really. And we obviously find out that like there's a lot more under the surface, and I am just so invested in every single part of this book, and I'm so happy about that. And JC Cervantes actually has one more book that is like this. That's a YA contemporary. I think it's called Flirting with Fate. And I'm not going to read that today, but I'm absolutely reading that very soon. Because like that, I think was, I don't know if it was her debut, but it was like the first book like this. It was written before this one. And I read the description, and it is the same kind of genre, same kind of vibe, but like a very different story, and I'm super excited for that. So I got the ebook as well, and I do actually think that I might read it this month even. So maybe you'll hear me talk about it in that, you know, next vlog, but let's not get ahead of ourselves, because I also did make quite a lot of progress in the bone spindle. That's the name, right? So I think I got to like 40%. And I'm so happy to say I am enjoying it. It's not like I'm not falling completely head over heels for it, and it's not, you know, like the best fantasy book I've ever read in my life, but like that is not the standard I'm trying to reach right now. My goal is to just fall back in love with fantasy, get in the mood for it, and, you know, find new authors, find new books, and that is definitely happening, and I'm so happy. So we have our two main characters, Fee and Shane, who basically go on this like quest together and you know, team up and all of that. And Fee is basically like a witch who breaks her finger on a bone spindle, and she starts seeing like visions, and in her dreams she starts seeing Briar Rose, who is the enchanted prince that's been under the curse for like 100 years. And so I think I mentioned in like one of the descriptions that this is like a Sleeping Beauty retelling, but that is just like one part of the story, and there's other parts to the story, and we do have points of view from both Shane and Fee. And Shane is more like a really cool, badass, you know, warrior, and a little bit rough around the edges. We will have like both of their stories and 2 romance plot lines, like I think I mentioned, and Shane's one is also going to be sapphic, but I do think that for now at least, there is a little bit more focused on Fee and this, you know, and Briar Rose and this whole curse, and I love how she is like connected spiritually to him, how she can actually like see him in his vision, in the visions, even though they, you know, like aren't, even though he's not awake yet. Because I feel like obviously in like the Sleeping Beauty story, it's not actually a great story in the sense that, you know, like obviously kissing, you know, like, you know, the conversations around like consent and the fact that they don't know each other. I'm pretty sure like in like the original story, they like don't know each other whatsoever, you know, it's just like a random prince kissing the princess. And so I absolutely love the fact that like this kind of gives us more of a romance, you know, where it's like they can kind of like get to know each other and connect in this like spiritual way that, you know, isn't like in reality, but it is real, and like that means that they can kind of like start falling in love, and I absolutely love that concept. And so they're gonna work on breaking this curse, and so I really like the visions, and I like that part of it, and I do actually like, I like the adventure part of it as well, because I do like journey stories. I do think I have a thing both in fantasy and in contemporary where I actually really love when there's like a very specific setting and it's like set in one place, whether it's, you know, like in one house or like a palace or whatever it might be. And I think the reason that I like that is it means that it has to be more focused on the characters, their feelings, their relationships, and all of those things. Because obviously if they're still in one place, things can change and evolve, but probably not as much as, you know, if they're like walking around the world and, you know, going on all kinds of adventures. But I am enjoying it in here, and, you know, I'm very happy about that. And so far we like don't have like super a lot of romance, but again, I do like what's starting to kind of evolve between Fee and Briar, and I am excited to see what Shane's story is gonna bring as well. But the main thing that I actually really like is the friendship between Fee and Shane, because like the thing is, yes, I'm a romance reader, but the thing that I just read for are characters and all kinds of relationships. I love, you know, friendships, found family, sibling relationships, like absolutely every relationship on earth. I love to read about it if it's done well. And so I'm very happy. I think I obviously I'm not like even fully halfway through, but I have a feeling this is gonna be a 4-star. Which, you know, it's not a 5-star. Again, it's not like everything that I could imagine, but who knows? Maybe it's gonna be, you know, a 5-star. Like, I haven't read the second half yet. And either way, I don't really care. Again, I'm not like expecting all of that, but I am just happy that I'm reading fantasy and I'm enjoying it. And again, I'm actually not sure what prompt I'm reading this for, but that's fine. Yeah, so that is that. I don't fully know what to do because again, like I do want to finish Always Isn't Forever, but I am starting to get into a physical reading mood, and I do think that I want to save the audiobook for later in the day when I maybe don't have energy anymore to read with my eyes. And I do also need to do some cleaning and shit like that because again, my family is coming this Saturday and I still have some mess around my room especially, and I need to clean the kitchen a little bit more as well. But I actually think that what I'm gonna read after finishing Always Isn't Forever is Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. So I have not mentioned it in this video yet, but I mentioned it in the first Magical Readathon vlog. And I still need to do the prompt. That is like a book that has a circle on the cover, and I picked this because there's like the circles and the scissors, and I have been wanting to read this for ages and I just keep procrastinating on it, and I'm just like, why do I keep doing that? Because I actually really think that this could be something I really love. So I, again, will put on lipstick and I'll talk to you very soon with some more exciting updates. Hello everyone, so it's time for an update. I have officially finished Always Isn't Forever, and I loved it. To no one's surprise, I absolutely loved this book, and I'm so happy. My heart is so full and overwhelmed with emotions, and I'm so happy that I finally picked up this book, and I honestly don't know what more to say. I don't know how to put it into words, but I just loved it so much, and it was so meaningful and so beautiful and so sweet. I loved the ending. I loved the whole book. I feel like that's a very special feeling because, you know, like most of the time I feel like in books, very hard to, you know, like love every second of it, like from beginning to the end. Like usually, you know, you feel like maybe it's a bit slow in a moment, or there's like a scene that you don't like, or maybe a character you don't like, or I often don't like the like third act conflict. Or another common problem that I have, or like not really a problem, but is, you know, feeling like the book takes a while to like fully get into the things, into the plot. And so the beginning maybe just takes a second to, you know, get invested or whatever, which is like a completely normal feeling. And even those books can be 5 stars and, you know, but in this case, I literally loved it from the first page to the last one. I don't think there's anything I would want to change about it. That is just incredible, you know? Like, I find favorite books and 5-star reads really often, but this felt really, really special to me, and I'm so happy. I honestly would love to jump straight into Flirting with Fate, which technically I could do, but I'm not gonna do that, but I will definitely be reading it really soon, and I really hope that some of you are going to pick this book up because it seriously is incredible and I can't believe I haven't heard anyone talk about it. So I need to buy a physical copy so bad. I think that's actually what I might do with Flirting with Fate, because both of these covers are so cute as well. So happy about that. And I don't know if, was there a prompt that this book works for? I don't even know at this point. Whatever, it's fine. And so that's that. And I did read a little bit more of the Bone Spindle. I did some of the cleaning and I listened to more of the book, and I have like an hour and a half to listen to now, which is perfect because I can absolutely do that tonight later on when just like, you know, when we near the end of the day. Yeah, I don't really have a lot of like new exciting thoughts on that, but I am having a great time. It is very fast paced and I'm starting to get more invested in the characters, and I like it a lot. The only like little complaint that I have is I wish we could see a little bit more of Shane's plotline, because it definitely is very focused on Fee, but I like her as well, and I really like her relationship that's developing with Briar, and I don't know, it's just like, it's really great. It's really working for me. I do feel like this is the kind of fantasy book that I really like. And again, it's not like completely perfect, it's not ticking every single box, but it's definitely like ticking the boxes that are like overall what I'm looking for, you know? So we love to see it. I'm so happy. So yeah, I did start rewatching Bridgerton. So I do think I'm gonna watch a little bit more of that today. And again, I do really want to write, but now it's time to at least start Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. And I feel like, you know, getting into fantasy, reading a fantasy book and feeling that vibe, and now also watching a historical romance show, I feel like this is actually the perfect thing to fit into my mood. I'll talk to you soon when I start this. I will go read, and yeah, let me know if you've been participating in the readathon. What have you been reading, you know? I want to know if you've done all the prompts, if you're, you know, reading some good things. Please let me know, and I will go read. Hello everyone, so it's 2 days later now. I basically, first of all, you know, the night that I was finishing the readathon, I did end up writing quite a lot, and I just really got in the zone, you know, and I had to make the most of that because, like, I have been struggling with writing for a long time, and it's been getting a lot better the past few months, but I'm still getting, like, fully, you know, it's still not 100%, and so I just had to make the most of it, and it actually felt so good. And so I did not really read much more, but I did finish the Bone Spindle, and I honestly I feel like I haven't like given any thoughts in detail, but I mean, like, I did, you know, and I don't really have any new feelings, but I really liked it. It is a 4-star, and I'm very happy about that, and again, I'm excited to read the other books. I'm pretty sure it's a trilogy, and both the other books are out, and so I do think, I don't know if I'm going to listen to it this month, but I do think I'm going to read it soon, and we love to see that, so it is very fun. I feel like it's not a 5-star because, like, I kind of wish we got a little bit more content about Shane, like I said, And just, you know, another thing is maybe that, you know, since it's not a standalone, there's obviously like more that you want from the story, which is not a bad thing, and that is normal for a series, but I think I'm just seriously not used to that anymore at all. You know, like the past 2 years, honestly, maybe like at least 90%, even like I would say like 95% has been like standalones or like standalone series where they're connected, but you know, it's all separate. And so, yeah, but I mean, like, I'm excited to see where the story goes next, and I'm so excited for the romances. And again, I love the relationship between Fee and Shane as well, and it's just really fun. It's easy to get through. It's super fast-paced and entertaining, and I'm very happy that I just ran into this book. And I'm so happy to say I actually think I'm really getting in a fantasy mood now, and so hopefully I'm gonna read some more fantasy books before this month ends, and you know, beyond that. But I will end the vlog here. I did actually pick this book up. I did start it, but I just read 6 pages. I am starting to get in the mood for it. I think there's a high chance I'm gonna read it in the next 2 weeks, but not in this vlog. I just feel like 24-hour readathons are not for me. Cause I can't do just one thing for 24 hours, you know? I always read. I read a lot. I love reading, but I can't just, you know, only read without watching things, without writing, without talking to people, you know? And I think every time, like so often, the past few times that I did a 24-hour readathon, I ended up making it a 48-hour readathon. And, you know, because that just gives me more time, and then I can be satisfied with how much I read. But again, I need to chill out as well. And when I inserted the footage to edit it, like, this vlog is so long. Even though, like, what the fuck was I even talking about, you know? But yeah, so that's all that I've read. But again, I will make one more Magical Readathon vlog, where I don't know, maybe I will just do, like, occasional updates even next week while my family's here, because, like, they know that I make YouTube videos, you know, I just, like, don't film in front of them, but I can, like, leave to my room to film for, you know, 10 minutes or whatever. But I can still film, like, a little bit, you know? So, yeah, whatever. But I will certainly be reading more, and I will be telling you more about that. But I have been having so much fun, actually. I really miss doing readathons. And I've been doing... I haven't done one like this in so long, and I love it so much. And again, the Magical Readathon is just so special, and I feel like it's just so good that it's, first of all, a month long, and that it happens, you know, like, in April and then August again, because, like, it just makes me look forward to that and motivates me. Let me know what you've been reading. And if you made it this far in the video, leave a ladybug emoji down below. Let me check if there is a ladybug emoji. So thank you so much for watching. That reminds me, do read Always Isn't Forever. It's seriously absolutely incredible if you didn't get that from everything that I said in this video. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon in another video. Bye!